welcome back to the Speed Fire Fab YouTube channel. Back in the shop working on the OBS today. I have done a few things off camera over the last few days, just a few minutes here and there. Got the fender back on, I've got the bumper back on. Most everything in here wrapped up. I think I'm going to get rid of this factory box and maybe run a smaller bottle style overflow right here, because I think this is going to get too hot and I don't want it to melt. I don't really want to build a heat shield. I got all my AC parts and was going to start building AC lines, but I ordered the wrong fittings. I needed number 8 for the condenser and the compressor on the low side, and I ordered number 6, so I've got the right ones on order. Hopefully they're going to be here in a few days, so not much I can do there. Got a fresh battery. Been playing with the tune a little bit. She runs pretty well for my limited skill set anyways. I did put some fluid in the rear end, but I ran out of fluid, so I got to go get some more of that. See, I mounted the other horn. It used to be mounted right here in the core support bracket. I've also got a coolant leak coming out of this little fitting because I had to rotate it, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. But the problem I want to work on right now and try to solve is, why is this thing not shutting off with the key? I did fire it up earlier and it actually did shut off with the key once with about a 20-second delay. My first thought was maybe I had the turbo timer programmed to do that in the tune. It's not the case, it's completely off. So I have a suspicion well, I know somehow power is bleeding. And either something's backfeeding. I did remove all the relays in the ECU and it still will not shut off. So I'm kind of leaning towards maybe the factory ignition switch in the truck is not working right. So we're going to turn it on. We can start it. It does not die. The only way I can make it die is pull the ECU fuse, which mainly powers the ignition. I can also disconnect the main wire going into the ECU right here. Or it can just die on its own. But if I disconnect this, which this is the factory block, but this main pink wire is coming from the ignition switch, factory ignition switch, and powering the ignition side of the ECU. So you can see all the lights are out. When I plug this back in, like even with the ignition key off, I still get the little green on light. So the fact that now the ECU is 100% standalone and unplugged from the main chassis harness of the truck leads me to believe that it is the ignition switch. So we got the multimeter. Let's see if we can't probe this and use the cigarette lighter as our ground. Look at that, ignition switch off. We got 2 to 2.5 volts. We turn the key on, we get 12.3. Key off, 2 volts. So that pink wire goes straight to the ignition switch. So I think I'm going to order a new ignition switch, swap that out. My guess is this one's original. I don't remember ever changing it, but that's going to be my guess because, like I said, it's isolated at this point. It doesn't go through anything else. So, I mean, the only other thing that's connected is the main battery feed to the factory fuse box in the truck. which that's got to have 12 volts no matter what. I think that's what's killing my battery too, because that ECU should be completely powered off, and it's not if this is plugged in. So it seems like it's that easy. I hope it's that easy. Called O'Reilly's, they won't have an ignition switch till later this afternoon, so we'll worry about that. When they get it, I'll go grab it along with some gear oil for the rear end. I need some more brake fluid. See if I can talk the wife into coming out here and pumping the brake pedal while I bleed them. I guess that's going to be it for right now. Like I said, we'll be back in a few seconds when I get those parts and see if we can't solve this problem. Well, back on the OBS. Let's see if we can get the brakes bled. Top off the rear end fluid, and I kind of want to back it out the shop. At Harbor Freight the other day, getting some zip ties, and I seen this little nifty tool. Figured why not? I'll try it out. Do a lot of this by myself. It's hard to get help exactly when you need it sometimes. So I've tried some of the cheaper kind of handheld vacuum bleeders. I don't love them. I probably won't love this one, but hey, if it gets this job done and it works, then maybe it won't be too terrible. But I don't know. Figure I'll let y'all learn with me. Honest review, good or bad. Probably going to read the instructions because I don't fully understand all of this. Do not use for anything other than brake fluid. Follow OSHA requirements. It's not happening. Be used by a certified repair person. YouTube certified counts, right? Handle with care. That's boring. Working air pressure 60 to 120. That's about what the compressor's set at. We're not going to suck the master cylinder out because I already done drained all the fluid and topped it back off, so I'm going to skip that step. Installing refill bottle. I don't really understand the refill bottle. Oh, it's literally there just to keep fluid in the master cylinder. I'm not real sure how that's going to work because my master cylinder is the old school with the two compartments and one big lid. But hey, we'll try anything once. I guess we're going to fill this bottle with our brake fluid. I don't know how much, but let's see if we can figure this out. I can get y'all a bird's eye view of this. Something about making sure it touches the fluid level, but we got to make sure it goes through this little crack right here, so we got to have enough. And I guess we're going to get the other lower part set up and we'll come turn this valve. One thing I don't like is this and this. It just kind of slipped into here with a couple of O-rings. I got a feeling at some point I'm going to plop that off and I'm going to have fluid going everywhere. Hopefully not today, but it's bound to happen if this thing lasts long enough. Okay, step one complete. Let's see what the rest says. Attach bleed screw adapter. That seems simple enough. So the problem I've always had with old hand vacuum bleeders is you don't use them enough, they kind of start, the brake fluid gums up the inside and then they just don't seem to really work right. But this situation kind of seems like it's going to create a suction in here, which is going to basically force the fluid out. I'm not sure what this one's for. Oh, that's for use in step one. You want to suck it out of your master cylinder. We got a couple of cap adapters to put straight on certain caps. I gotta find which one of these fits our bleed ports. Honestly, I think they're all the same. I think they just give you extras. We're going to connect this to there. Not great design. You try to push it in and you just push the spring. Minor, we can work with it. Alright, let's go to the back right. That's where we need to start. We always got to start furthest away from the master cylinder. Work our way up. Alright, we're going to open up the drain bucket here. I might not have put enough fluid in there, but we're about to find out. Okay, so I think we got to close this. That fits, that's a good sign. We're going to open the bleeder. I'm going to open this little valve. If everything works right. Just start sucking fluid maybe. Oh, it's working. I guess we're just going to go until it sucks all the fluid. We're going to string the fluid. Oh, a little more. We'll hold it up. Still up. Alright, I screwed up slightly, and basically we drained the rear reservoir, which is the front reservoir on the master cylinder, the small one. We drained it completely because the little refill bottle was in the back reservoir, which is for the front brakes, and because that reservoir didn't drop down, it didn't refill. So I topped it back off with fluid, moved it. We should get a little better results this time. I don't really know how long I got to run it for, so I'm just kind of trying it, checking the master cylinder and making sure. It seems like a lot's coming out, but in reality, I don't think that's the case. The instructions say to go until you can see new fluid, not necessarily until you can't see air bubbles. Seems okay. But I guess we don't really know, do we? Okay, I need to go move the refill bottle. Probably should have sprayed some blaster. I think they're a little stuck. Oh no! It's a good thing I didn't paint the frame. This sucker's leaking everywhere. So much for shutting yourself off. I guess you gotta watch that. Oh, don't freaking strip out on me now. You're gonna have to do what you usually have to do. vice grips. Turns out I just needed to pump the pedal once and get it kind of flowing. All right, aside from the mess, I mean, I don't guess it's too terrible. We haven't tried the brakes yet, but man, that thing leaked everywhere on the fender. So far I like the ease of use of the system. I don't love this little automatic. I mean, it worked until it didn't work. And all they mean by automatic is that you put that underneath the level and it can't physically go anywhere. It's supposed to work that way. All right, let's go up. We need to put some more fluid in the rear end. Camera's about to die, so try to finish this real quick. All right, I'm gonna save y'all the boredom of watching me put tires on. And I will check back in a few minutes. See if she'll do a little cold start. Get it warmed up a little bit. That ain't too bad. I mean, it's about 100 degrees outside, but that's pretty good that it fired right off and it's somewhat idling. Look at that stubborn exhaust leak down there. They're not awful. I might could lose a little adjustment on the rear. I think I've got the idle table not adjusted for in gear. It's only adjusted for neutral and park. I'll let the coolant temp get up a little bit. Nice. I don't know how well that's going to work. Not a very good mount. Really? On the wideband. Actually really smooth. Little stumble off idle. Definitely think I'm gonna have to bleed the brakes manually. Just not quite there. Well, I think that's gonna be a wrap for today. Runs, drives, kind of stops. It's definitely better than it used to be. Rear end feels nice and tight, not whining. Not that I can hear anyways. Definitely got to get the exhaust out to the back bumper because the drone is kind of terrible. Might end up putting another kind of muffler on top of the resonator. We'll have to see. Overall though, I'm happy with it. I think we can check a few things off the list here. All right, bleed brakes, maybe not. Throttle body clamp, look at that, we got one thing done. Gear oil, that's done. So, when you tweak the brakes a little more, the remaining fittings for the AC line should be here in a couple days. Once I do that, I can put the grill and the hood back on. I have a new ignition switch. I just got to get the dash tore apart. I can put headlights in and the new LED bulbs once I get the AC lines done, because the passenger one's kind of in the way. Taillights, they're still in the box. That's not a problem. Air filter, not a problem. Spare tire, I'm going to do that after I get it tuned, drive it up there, and I need to get a new tire put on so that we can make it on a road trip. We have a spare. Exhaust, still got to figure that out. Tune, working on that too. Check all wires and hoses, I've done that. I mean, I'll do a final one when it's completely done, I guess. Windshield washer bottle, those are discontinued products. I do not know what happened to the one I pulled off, which kind of sucks, but I have another one coming from eBay used, and that's really the majority of what we got to do. I'm going to try to get this factory under hood light mounted. The problem is it won't fit back in the factory location on the passenger side, so I'll probably have to work on that. I think that's going to be it for this episode. Thank y'all for stopping by the shop. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'll see y'all on the next one.